In early 2025, residents of a small Ohio town began revisiting a story most had heard as children. It was known locally as the Watcher. For decades, it was dismissed as a harmless urban legend. Teenagers used it to scare each other during late-night drives. Parents mentioned it jokingly when streetlights flickered. It was a story always there, but never taken seriously. The legend was simple. Stand alone in an empty parking lot after midnight, and a man would appear under a streetlight. He would not run, shout, or threaten. He would simply stand there, looking at you. Then he would whisper your name. According to the story, anyone whose name was spoken would disappear within 7 days. No witnesses, no explanation, no trace. For years, no confirmed police records connected the legend to missing persons. No official reports mentioned a man under a streetlight. No detective ever linked a disappearance to a whispered name. It was just folklore. Until March 14, 2025, at exactly 2:13 a.m., a video file titled Watcher_real.mp4 was anonymously uploaded to a private cloud server. The upload location was masked. The IP address led nowhere. Within 48 hours, the video leaked publicly. It circulated across forums, group chats, and video sharing platforms before being taken down. But by then, millions had already seen it. The file was 6 minutes and 12 seconds long. No intro, no background music, no edits, just raw footage. The camera overlooked an abandoned grocery store parking lot on the outskirts of town. Residents quickly recognized it. The store had closed more than a decade earlier. The lot had been mostly empty ever since, with a single streetlight. For the first 2 minutes, nothing happened. Wind pushed a loose plastic bag across the asphalt. The frame remained still. Then, at 2:01 a.m., a man entered the frame. He walked in slowly, from the left side of the screen. He did not look around. He did not hesitate. He stepped directly beneath the streetlight and stopped. He appeared to be in his mid-30s, average height, average build, dark jacket, jeans, no visible markings. His hands rested calmly in his pockets. His posture was relaxed, almost casual. For several seconds, he simply stood there. Then he looked directly into the camera. The movement was subtle but deliberate. His head tilted upward slightly. He smiled, not a wide grin, not a threatening expression. Just a small, controlled smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. Then he began to whisper. At first, the audio seemed unintelligible. Wind interference made it difficult to distinguish words, but online users enhanced the sound. Audio engineers isolated frequencies. What they discovered changed everything. He was saying names, full names, first and last, 14 of them. He spoke slowly, clearly, softly, each name spaced several seconds apart. After the final name, he remained standing under the light for nearly 30 seconds. Then, the footage ended. 3 days after the video went viral, the first person named in the recording was reported missing, 27 years old. No history of mental illness, no sign of financial distress, no known enemies. Their car was found parked outside their apartment, wallet inside, phone left charging on the kitchen counter, front door locked from the inside. 4 days later, the second name on the list disappeared, then the third. Each case followed the same unsettling pattern. No signs of forced entry, no evidence of struggle. Security cameras showed nothing unusual. It was as if they stepped out of existence. Local authorities held a brief press conference stating no verified connection between the viral video and the disappearances. They described the situation as an unfortunate coincidence amplified by online hysteria, but the timing was impossible to ignore. Online communities began mapping the names. All 14 individuals lived within a 50-mile radius of the town. Most had no connection to each other. Different ages, different professions, different backgrounds. The only common link was geography. As the investigation continued, independent researchers made another discovery. When the brightness and contrast were adjusted, Faint shapes appeared in the darkness behind the man. At first, viewers assumed it was digital noise, but the shapes remained consistent across multiple frames. There were at least 3 tall figures standing just beyond the streetlight. They did not move. They did not shift. They stood perfectly still, watching. The police declined to comment. Officials stated that digital artifacts can often create illusions in low-light recordings. Still, fear began spreading through the town. People avoided empty parking lots after midnight. Teenagers stopped doing late-night drives. Local businesses closed earlier than usual. Residents reported feeling watched when walking alone at night. Then something even more disturbing happened. The individual who originally leaked watcher_real.mp4 publicly was identified through forum traces and metadata. Within hours of that discovery spreading online, the account was deleted. 2 days later, that individual was reported missing. Their apartment showed no signs of forced entry. Their laptop was found open on the desk. The video file was no longer on the hard drive. Forensic specialists confirmed it had not simply been deleted. It appeared to have never been stored there at all. Surveillance cameras in the building's hallway captured nothing unusual that night. No visitors, no suspicious movement. 7 days after the first upload, at 2:13 a.m. again, another file appeared online. This one was titled next_list.mp4. The setting was identical. Same parking lot, same flickering streetlight, but this time the man stood closer to the camera. His face was clearer, his expression calmer. He looked directly into the lens almost immediately, as if expecting the audience. And then he smiled again. He began whispering. This list was longer. 17 names. Within days, online communities cross-referenced those names with public directories and social media accounts. Many matched real individuals living in surrounding counties across United States. 4 of those individuals have since been reported missing. Authorities continue to deny any connection between the videos and the disappearances. They maintain no credible evidence. The parking lot has since been demolished, the streetlight removed, the land fenced off. But residents say that sometimes, late at night, when the wind is quiet and the sky is clear, they can still see a faint glow, a single light, flickering, as if it was never taken down. And occasionally, drivers passing by claim they see a figure, not moving, not waving, just standing there, looking upward, as if waiting for a camera to turn on, as if waiting for another name to be whispered. As of today, no suspect has been identified, no official explanation. Digital forensic teams continue to analyze archived copies of the footage, but no conclusive source has been traced. The original files remain online in fragments, reposted and deleted repeatedly across the internet, and every night, at exactly 2:13 a.m., thousands of viewers around the world check their screens, just in case another upload appears, just in case another list is whispered. Because according to the legend, once your name is spoken, you have 7 days. And no one in that town laughs at the story anymore. The footage appears to show an abandoned grocery store parking lot on the outskirts of town in Ohio. Local residents recognized it almost immediately. The building had once been a family-owned supermarket that closed in 2014. Since then, the lot had remained mostly empty. Security cameras had been removed years ago. Former employees confirmed that by late 2015, even the wiring had been pulled from the walls. There was no active surveillance system connected to the building anymore. Yet the footage clearly comes from an elevated surveillance angle. Digital analysts reported no signs of handheld motion or distortion. The angle suggests something permanently installed, something that, officially, should not exist. The timestamp reads 1:48 a.m. For nearly 2 minutes, nothing happens. Wind moves debris slowly across the pavement. The streetlight flickers in irregular pulses, sometimes bright, sometimes dim, casting long shadows that stretch unnaturally across the asphalt. The silence feels heavy, interrupted only by faint ambient noise, distant highway sounds. the hum of electricity, the whisper of wind brushing against broken windows. Viewers say the stillness during those first 2 minutes is what unsettles them most. No build-up music, no sudden movement, just an empty American parking lot in the middle of the night. And then, at exactly 2:01 a.m., a man enters the frame. He walks calmly into the light from the far left side of the screen. He does not rush. He does not look over his shoulder. His pace is steady and deliberate, as if he has done this before. He appears to be in his mid-30s, average height, average build, dark jacket zipped halfway up, faded jeans, neutral-colored shoes, no visible weapon, no mask, no attempt to hide his identity. He stops directly beneath the streetlight. For a moment, he simply stands there. The light flickers above him, briefly dimming his face before illuminating it again. His features become clearer each time the light steadies. He has short hair, clean-shaven, expression neutral. Then he slowly tilts his head upward and looks straight into the camera. The movement is precise, intentional. There is no hesitation in his gaze. He does not scan the lot first. He does not appear confused about where the camera is located. He looks directly at it, as if he has known its position all along. According to online reports, facial recognition software failed to match his identity. No driver's license records, no arrest records, no public employee photos, nothing conclusive. Of course, authorities have not confirmed those claims publicly, but the absence of identification only added to the mystery. For approximately 4 minutes, the man whispers names. He does not raise his voice. He does not shout. He does not gesture dramatically. He simply stands under the flickering streetlight and whispers. 14 full names, first and last. Each one spoken slowly, clearly, with careful pronunciation. There is no stutter, no uncertainty. It sounds rehearsed. At first, many viewers believed the audio was too distorted to understand, but enhanced versions of the file began circulating online. Audio engineers filtered out wind interference and amplified vocal frequencies. When isolated, the whispers became disturbingly clear. Each name can be heard, one by one. There are several seconds of silence between them, as if giving space for the sound to settle. Some viewers have described the tone of his voice as calm. Others describe it as almost gentle. There is no anger in it, no excitement, no visible emotion at all. After the 14th name, he stops speaking. He continues staring into the camera for nearly 30 seconds. He does not blink. He does not move. The streetlight flickers again, briefly casting his face in shadow. When the light returns to full brightness, his expression appears slightly different. Not a smile exactly, but something close to satisfaction. Then the video cuts to black. No fade out, no static, just an abrupt end. 3 days after the video surfaced publicly, the first individual named was reported missing. The disappearance was initially treated as a routine missing person case. The individual had not shown up for work. Family members reported unanswered calls and messages. Police found no signs of struggle inside the home. The car remained parked outside. Personal belongings were untouched. No suspicious activity was caught on nearby traffic cameras. Within the following week, 2 more individuals named in the footage disappeared under similar circumstances. In each case, there were no signs of forced entry. No witnesses reported hearing anything unusual. Phone records showed no strange calls or messages before their disappearance. Digital footprints ended abruptly. No final social media posts, no search history suggesting plans to leave town. The pattern was difficult to ignore. Online communities began tracking the names from the video. Amateur investigators created timelines. They mapped locations. They compared distances between each missing person's residence and the abandoned grocery store. The radius was surprisingly tight. All lived within driving distance of the parking lot. All disappeared within days of the video gaining attention. Skeptics argued that it could be an elaborate hoax, a staged viral marketing campaign, a coordinated prank designed to exploit fear, but no company ever claimed responsibility. No promotional materials surfaced. No behind-the-scenes footage was released. Instead, the fear grew. As the days passed, more details from the footage were analyzed. Frame-by-frame reviews revealed subtle inconsistencies. Some viewers noticed that the shadows beneath the man's feet did not always align perfectly with the flickering of the streetlight. Others pointed out faint, almost imperceptible movements in the darkness. When brightness levels were increased dramatically, vague shapes appeared in the background. They were not clear enough to identify, but they resembled tall silhouettes standing at the edge of the parking lot. Not moving, not approaching, just present. Authorities have not addressed these observations publicly. Official statements remain cautious and controlled. Law enforcement representatives have repeatedly stated that there is no verified link between the video and the disappearances. They emphasize the importance of avoiding panic, yet residents report a shift in atmosphere throughout the town. People avoid empty lots after midnight. Late-night drives have decreased. Businesses close earlier. Parents warn teenagers not to linger under streetlights alone. The abandoned grocery store has since been fenced off. The streetlight was removed during a property cleanup operation. But some locals claim that on certain nights, when driving past the site, they still see a faint glow where the pole once stood. A single flicker in the darkness. No official explanation has been given for how the original footage was recorded. No physical camera has been recovered. No suspect has been identified, and copies of the video continue to circulate online, removed and re-uploaded repeatedly under different titles. To this day, the full list of 14 names is still discussed in online forums. Some families of the missing have requested privacy. Others have publicly denied any connection between their loved ones and what they call an internet myth. But one fact remains unchanged. The man in the video looked directly into the camera, as if he knew it was there, as if he knew people would watch, and as if the whispering of those names was never meant for the people standing in that parking lot, but for everyone else, everyone listening, everyone waiting, because in the silence between each whispered name, there is a pause long enough for viewers to imagine hearing their own, and that possibility, more than the footage itself, is what continues to keep millions awake long after 2:01 a.m. Local authorities stated there was no confirmed connection between the video and the disappearances. During a brief press conference, officials assured residents that the situation was being handled carefully. They emphasized that viral content often spreads fear faster than facts. The video, they suggested, was likely part of an elaborate hoax. The police chief described it as a coordinated digital prank and urged the public not to jump to conclusions. Correlation, he said, does not equal causation. But investigators were encountering several inconsistencies behind closed doors. Forensic analysts examined the original footage. They expected to find evidence of editing software or digital compositing. Instead, early reports indicated something unusual. The footage showed no signs of digital manipulation, with consistent lighting and pixel structure. No hidden cuts, no splice points. Metadata suggested the video was created on-site, not edited later. The file structure indicated a direct recording. The metadata did not correspond to any known camera model. It did not match known devices or security systems. It was a generic capture source with incomplete identifiers. Officials prevented discussing specifics. More concerning, independent online investigators began to uncover something. Digital hobbyists started enhancing the image, increasing brightness, adjusting contrast, and overlaying thermal simulations. That is when viewers began noticing something in the background, behind the man under the streetlight. At first, it looked like random noise in the darkness, beyond the reach of the flickering bulb. But as multiple enhanced versions were compared, patterns emerged. There appeared to be shapes, not reflections, not distortions, shapes. At least 3 shadow-like figures standing just beyond the visible light. They were tall, slightly elongated, positioned several feet apart from one another, near the far edge of the parking lot. These figures did not move. They did not shift weight. They did not react to the man speaking. They remained completely still for the duration of the recording. When the streetlight flickered, their outlines briefly became more defined, then faded back into near invisibility. But they never stepped forward, never stepped back. They were simply there, watching. Authorities declined to comment on these findings when asked during follow-up briefings. A spokesperson stated that image enhancement techniques can create visual artifacts, especially in low-light recordings. They cautioned against interpreting digitally altered frames as factual evidence. However, the enhanced images continued circulating online, gaining millions of views under titles referencing shadow figures, urban legend proof, and unexplained surveillance footage. The story began trending across multiple social platforms, drawing attention from true crime communities, paranormal investigators, and skeptics alike. The situation escalated dramatically when the individual who had first leaked the file publicly was identified. The person had originally shared the video using an anonymous account on a private discussion board. Through timestamp, cross-referencing, and archived web snapshots, users traced subtle posting patterns that eventually pointed toward a real individual. 2 days after posting the video publicly, that individual was reported missing. The report was filed by a family member after repeated phone calls went unanswered. According to initial police documentation, there were no signs of forced entry at the apartment. The front door was locked, windows were intact. There was no evidence of struggle. Inside, everything appeared normal. A laptop sat open on a desk. A half-finished cup of coffee rested beside it. Lights were still on in the living room. All of their social media accounts were deleted within hours of their disappearance. Friends reported receiving automated notifications that the profiles no longer existed. Archived versions of the accounts also vanished. Digital forensic teams attempted to recover deleted data, but early reports suggested the accounts had been wiped. No fingerprints were found inside the apartment, besides the resident's own. No surveillance footage captured anyone entering or leaving. It was as if the individual had stepped out of existence. That disappearance intensified public anxiety. Online communities began compiling timelines, comparing the date of the leak, the press conference, and the vanishing of the leaker. Speculation grew rapidly. Some believed the individual had staged their own disappearance to deepen the myth. Others feared something far more disturbing. Meanwhile, investigators quietly re-examined the parking lot itself. Property records confirmed that no active electrical account was associated with the streetlights shown in the footage. Utility companies reported that power to the pole had been disconnected years earlier when the grocery store shut down operations. Yet in the video, the streetlight clearly flickers on and off, illuminating the man, casting shadows, creating visible light distortion consistent with a live power source. Engineers reportedly struggled to explain how a disconnected fixture could produce that level of sustained illumination. None of these technical inconsistencies were formally acknowledged in public statements. Official messaging remained controlled and measured. There is no confirmed link. There is no verified threat. There is no evidence of supernatural involvement. But within the town, behavior changed. Residents reported feeling watched when walking to their cars at night. Drivers described an uneasy silence when passing through empty lots. Some claimed that even functional streetlights now felt unsettling, as if the space beneath them had become symbolic of something dangerous. The abandoned grocery store property was eventually cleared. The remaining structure was demolished. The streetlight was removed entirely. The asphalt was broken apart and repaved as an undeveloped lot. Officials described the demolition as routine redevelopment planning, yet rumors spread that the decision was made to prevent further gatherings. Despite the physical removal of the location, archived copies of the video continue circulating across the internet. Each repost attracts millions of views before being flagged and taken down. Reaction channels analyze every frame. Podcasts discuss the timeline. Forums debate the authenticity of the metadata. But the most unsettling detail remains unchanged. The man in the footage never looks surprised. He never scans for observers. He never appears uncertain. He walks directly into position beneath the streetlight and looks straight at the camera as if it were placed there for him. As if the recording was not capturing him by accident, but rather documenting something scheduled, something intentional. Authorities maintain that investigations are ongoing. No suspect has been named. No arrests have been made. No conclusive explanation has been provided for the shadow-like figures, the metadata anomalies, the power source inconsistency, or the disappearance of the leaker. And every time viewers replay the footage, enhancing the brightness just slightly more than before, they find themselves staring into the darkness beyond the light, searching for movement, for proof, for anything that explains why those shapes remain perfectly still. Because in a world filled with edited content and staged viral videos, the one thing that continues to disturb analysts the most is this: if it was a hoax, it was executed with impossible precision. And if it was not a hoax, then whatever stood beyond that streetlight was not there for the camera. It was there for him, and possibly for the names he whispered into the dark. On March 21st, exactly 7 days after the initial leak, another file appeared online. The timing alone sent shockwaves. People had already begun counting the days. The legend always said 7 days. The new upload surfaced at 2:13 a.m. again. Many viewers felt a chill. This time, the file was not hidden. It was uploaded directly to multiple public platforms within minutes. Major video sharing sites, smaller streaming forums, even short-form clip services. The distribution was wide, coordinated, and intentional. Before moderators could remove it, thousands downloaded copies. Within an hour, the file was mirrored across dozens of accounts. The title read, next_list.mp4. No description, no username, just the file. The setting was identical. Same abandoned grocery store parking lot in Ohio. Same cracked asphalt. Same distant highway hum. Same single flickering streetlight. But something felt different. The man appeared closer, clearer, more detailed. His facial features were no longer softened by distance. The lens seemed zoomed in. The camera angle remained elevated, but tighter. His face occupied more of the frame. The shadows beneath his eyes were sharper. The texture of his jacket fabric was visible. He walked into the frame at 2:01 a.m. again. Same calm pace, measured steps. He stopped closer to the light, adjusting for visibility. He looked up toward the camera immediately. No delay. Direct eye contact. He smiled briefly. A controlled upward curve of the lips, suggesting recognition, as if he knew people were watching more closely now. Then he began whispering again. The audio quality was clearer. The wind interference seemed lower. His voice carried more weight, though it remained soft, calm, even. This time, the list was longer. 17 names, first and last, spoken slowly, carefully, each name separated by several seconds of silence. Online viewers described the silence between names as the most unsettling part. Long enough for anticipation to build. Long enough for people to imagine what name might come next. Within hours, online communities compared the list to public records. Amateur researchers scoured social media, property records, voter registration databases. Several names matched real residents of nearby counties. Not celebrities, ordinary people. A teacher, a mechanic, a college student, a nurse. By the second day, discussion forums were flooded. Some individuals whose names were spoken became aware. A few posted publicly, dismissing it as a sick prank. But as the week progressed, the tone shifted. As of today, 4 individuals have been officially reported missing. Each case followed a disturbingly familiar pattern. No signs of forced entry. No documented struggle. Phones left behind or powered off. Vehicles still parked where last seen. Security cameras revealed nothing unusual. In at least one case, neighbors heard no sounds during the night. just silence. Law enforcement denies any supernatural connection. Officials reiterate, no evidence links the video to disappearances. They describe the timing as unfortunate, but caution against spreading fear. Press briefings have grown shorter, answers more carefully worded. The FBI has not issued a public statement. Local authorities decline details, citing ongoing protocols. Meanwhile, view counts for archived versions of next_list.mp for surpassed millions. Reaction channels analyze micro-expressions. Audio engineers dissect waveform patterns. Some claim the background hum contains layered frequencies not present in the first. Others insist shadowed figures behind the man appear closer. The parking lot has since been demolished. Within weeks, heavy machinery arrived. The store was torn down, the asphalt broken apart, the streetlight pole removed entirely. Officials described the demolition as part of a redevelopment initiative. Now, the site is an empty field, level ground, fresh dirt, no visible traces of what once stood there. But residents report something unsettling. Some claim late at night, you can see a faint light flickering. At first, many dismissed these reports, but the accounts share similar details. The light is weak, but steady enough to cast a narrow glow. It does not illuminate the entire field, only a small circular area, exactly where the streetlight once stood. Witnesses say it does not appear every night, only sometimes, usually around 2 a.m. Dashcam footage from a few drivers has surfaced online, though none clearly captures the phenomenon. In most clips, the field appears dark, but in a handful of frames, viewers claim to see a faint shimmer, as if a street lamp is still there. And sometimes, according to witnesses, a man can be seen standing beneath it. The descriptions are eerily consistent. Average height, dark jacket, hands in pockets, standing still, looking up, not toward the road, not toward passing cars, but upward, as if waiting for something above him, as if waiting for a camera that isn't there anymore. Some residents report slowing their vehicles, but by the time they focus on the spot, the light appears gone. The field returns to darkness. Nothing stands there. No physical evidence has been documented. No official acknowledgement of these sightings has been made. Yet the stories continue. The legend that once felt like harmless folklore has taken on a different weight. Parents now warn teenagers not to visit the empty lot, even though there is nothing there to visit. Drivers avoid that stretch of road after midnight, if they can. Online, speculation grows louder. Was the demolition an attempt to remove a gathering place, to stop copycat activity? Or was it something else entirely, an effort to erase a location that should not have been capable of producing what millions saw on their screens? The most unsettling detail remains unchanged. The man never appears surprised. He never looks uncertain. He walks into the light with purpose. He positions himself carefully. He looks directly at the camera, as if acknowledging an audience beyond the parking lot. And when he whispers the names, he does so without emotion, without anger, without hesitation, as if reading from a list that already exists. Even now, archived copies circulate. Under new titles: Urban Legend, Real Footage, Watcher Case Update, Unsolved Ohio Mystery. They are removed, re-uploaded, dissected. Each time someone presses play, they know what is coming. The flickering light, the still figure, the whisper. And every time a pause stretches between names, there is a moment when viewers imagine hearing their own. Because according to the legend, once your name is spoken, you have 7 days. And if the reports from that empty field are true, then perhaps the camera was never the point. Perhaps the upload was never the message. Perhaps the whispering was never meant to stay inside a video file. Late at night, when the highway quiets and the wind moves across open ground, some drivers say you can hear something. Not loud, not clear, just a faint sound carried on the air, soft, measured, almost gentle, as if someone is standing in the darkness, beneath a light no one else can see, continuing a list that has not yet ended.